Shalom, shalom, everyone. Today's Sunday, the day after Shabbat. We had a really good Shabbat. You'll be seeing that soon. I guess same issue we had before. It's being recorded in parts. I'm still not sure why. I went through the settings. I can't figure it out. But I asked the Father to give me some wisdom, or to send someone to me that knows what to do to fix that issue, so we can start posting it faster. And we might even try to see if we can do it live. We tried that before and it cut out, so it might be my phone, so that might be what it is. Might have to get a separate camera for it, but we'll see. But either way, we had a good Shabbat. I'm out here getting something to eat real quick, but we had a good Shabbat, and I'm just so grateful that the Father, like I said yesterday, he has surrounded me with the daughters of Sarah. By the people who come and they fellowship with us, my own wife, my own daughters, just the beautiful people He's put in our life. I'm talking about the women, the men, sons of Abraham that the Father has blessed me with, and just to see people who just really love the Father, love the pure Word, not all kinds of crazy stuff, just the pure Word, going through the Word, and looking at the stories of these people's lives. That they had challenges, they had weaknesses, they had fears, they had doubts, and yet they were still able to overcome it with the help of the Father. And we're just like them. All the people you read in the Bible, we're just like them. We can do great things just like they did. We got to get our faith where their faith is at. And we have our challenges, we have our weaknesses, we have our fears, we have our doubts. We got to ask the Father to remove those so we can do those great things. Same things that Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, all these great men, Hadassah, Sarah, we just got done talking about her life and the mark she left, that we're still feeling the effect of her life even today. The power of the women, the influence of women, the influence of mothers, the influence of wives, the influence of daughters. You'll see it pinned in the scriptures, all through the scriptures. And it's very interesting how sometimes we think that the women are a weaker vessel, maybe in the flesh, but how about the spirit? Scripture says that when I am weak, you are strong, or He is strong. So if the woman's the weaker vessel, then the Father's stronger where? Yeah, it's according to what Scripture says, stronger in the woman. And you'll see that behind every great man really is either a mother, or sometimes even a sister. Look at Abraham Lincoln, but especially a wife. If your wife can be there for you and strengthen you and guide you when she sees something going on, sometimes she'll notice things that you don't see right away. But we as men need to put our pride aside and listen attentively. Not jump at everything she says and do everything she says, but really listen attentively and like, okay, what is she saying? What's really going on here? Let me stop real quick. She sees something. She feels something. I want to make sure I'm not missing something. Make sure that I'm doing what's right. The Father might be speaking to her, and I don't see it, and I don't hear Him. But for whatever reason, He's speaking to her, and I need to pay attention because we are one. And I found out to be a more truth, more and more throughout my life. And my wife has warned me about some things, and sometimes I took heed, and then I was like, oh wow, good thing I listened to you. And sometimes I didn't listen, and like, oh man, I wish I would have listened to you. And so I learned by experience that the word is true. But I was just thinking about some things today on my way to work, and some people, they're so fearful, they're so entangled, they're so chained, they're so bound by their past. It's just holding them back. And then they're also fearful of the future, of what's to come, what do we do, what's going to happen, and my children, and all kinds of stuff. And they're so worried about the past, they're so fearful of the future, that they don't have a now. They're not living in the now. The now, the power and the life of the now is gone. It's taken away. It's stolen by the fear of yesterday and the fear of tomorrow. And those are things that we need to get rid of. We need to ask the Father to remove those fears of the past and those chains and those burdens of who we used to be and the things we did. We're forgiven. We need to move on. And as for the future, the future's in the Father's hands. I got interrupted there, but like I was saying, the future's in the Father's hands. So what are we so worried about? Do we trust Him? faith is one thing. Trust and belief and knowing, they're all connected, but yet they're separate. Yes, there's trust and faith, but sometimes it's like, Father, I don't know what's going on. I mean, do you really trust Him with your life? Do you trust Him with the future of your children and your grandchildren? I mean, I was like, for the last 3 years, I've been really pondering upon that. What's going to happen with my children? What's going to happen with my grandchildren? If something happens to me, what's going to happen to my wife? Really thinking about it. Just had it just on my mind. I was trying to figure things out, and I had to come to a place where, Father, I can't do nothing about it. I can prepare the best that I can with what you give me, but sooner or later I had to understand that He's in charge. He's going to take care of them. It might be my wife, might be my children, but they're His daughters, His sons, and He loves them even more than I do. So if my concern for their future and for their well-being is something important to me, it's important to Him even more. He'll take care of your children. He'll take care of your wife. He'll take care of your husband. He'll take care of your parents. One thing that we talk about sometimes is, who's going to die first and all these things. I kind of don't like talking about it because it's really, I don't want to think about my wife passing away. That's something that's really hard for me to deal with. And just ask the Father, if that ever does come, give me strength, because, that's something that's my best friend. She's been with me all this time. She's trusted me. She's helped me. She's had faith in me. And even when I was weak, even when I was fearful, even when I was doing the wrong thing, she stood by my side until I came to my right mind and started doing the right things and following the Father. So, Scripture says, if one man has found a wife, he has found a good thing. The word "thing" is a word, it's a bar. It means more than just a thing. It's a word of encouragement, word of lifting up, word of life, word of direction. Man, that's what a wife really is. That's what a best friend is. But really think about, putting everything, the future, in your Father's hands, and your past in His hands. And He'll get rid of your past. He'll give you a new future. He really will. And for all you that are listening to this, let the Father bless you. Let Him bless you. He wants to bless you. You have to really just let Him bless you. Stop saying, "Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I'm poor. Oh, I'm dumb." No. I'm intelligent. I'm a child of the King. All the wealth of the world is mine. My dreams, my ambitions will all come, and they'll all flourish, and I will have the things I desire in my life, because my Father loves me, and He said that if I ask Him, that He'll give me. So, just with that little video I'm making, just a word of encouragement. We found a lot of it in this week's Torah portion, and the life of Sarah, life of obedience. That's the key. Obedience demands blessing. All right, so live a life of obedience, be blessed, and shalom. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.